turns like into a little sad puppy, his eyes widen up, as to say, hey, I'm sorry. I'm like, damn, I got you all wrong. You over here trying to give me the hookup. And they feel, I guess they feel kind of bad, and because you're trying to save their butt, you know? And next thing you know, you help them, and then they look at you and like, next thing you know, they're following you around like a sad puppy. You know, hey, what's going on? We're having for lunch. You know, and you see that lion later, or you see whatever the animal later, and usually they attack other people, but when they see you, they just be all happy and sloppy, all happy to see you. So you got this wild killing animal. What they say is a wild killing animal. But next thing you know, they're just like a little kitten or like a little puppy who just wanted to learn what love is. But because a lot of these humans are just so evil, I've seen people throw puppies out the window and stuff like that. I'm like, what are you doing? I was like, man, these people are cruel. But there's such thing, they joke around it like they're all ignorant. And how do you think they're going to treat their fellow man? If they're going to treat little helpless animals like that, or children like that, and think they're Mr. Macho Man because they get hurt, a little puppy or a little child. And that's how they treat their children and their family, only looking for money and how to put you under the bus so they can get a couple extra dollars, as opposed to saying, oh, well, how can we succeed together and create a harmony in which we create the bigger dragon, the righteous dragon, the righteous energy throughout that permeates all. So a lot of times they're claiming, they're projecting their evil onto you. So they're claiming you're this, you're doing that, but that's what they're doing. So you always need to be careful when people say, oh, that person did that. So really, what's your name, where you're at, when did it happen? And then follow up and say, we're going to follow up. Oh, well, some people might say they don't want to then help because they don't want to be bothered afterward. I said, that sounds suspicious. Because if I'm going to say something about somebody, I'd hope you come back to me and tell me, yeah, man, we took care of that situation. Everything's cool now. Or to say, hey, they say, I'm lying. And I'm like, well, I got the video right here. Here it is. And then they're going to have to go back and say, okay, you busted for lying. But if you see that the other person was lying, we say, hey, you busted for lying. And then a lot of people, they don't hold to say, well, they don't want you recording, although they're recording, but they don't want you recording. And they'll make a policy, you can't record. I'm like, excuse me, you got a half a dozen cameras on me right now. How you saying I can't record? There's a half a dozen cameras on me right now. So there's a problem here, because if I can't record, then you can't record either. And you're out in public, too. This is not like I'm in the bathroom. Nobody wants to record stuff in the bathroom. People are sick like that, but I don't know why you would want to do that. That's nasty. I mean, with some people get, when you start following in this negative sort of mind, you start losing track as to, well, what is the best way in order to achieve a state of enlightenment. So they would continue on this depravity, getting worse as opposed to getting better, and doing things that are detrimental to themselves. And in the end, that's what they'll get. And many people are slowly dying from this. They're trying to say it's something else. They're dying from this whole system. And hopefully you'll be able to spin off out of it if they continue on the system. But somewhere along the line, either the system has to crash or it has to rearrange in order to grow. Because that's the way it works. Because there's only one way down and one way up. They want you to overthink. That's why there's so many negatives, and why they're running time, like the advertising and everything faster, and continuous to say all the side effects, and continuously using that same ploy. Just put down the business, that's it, and then you can see whether you want it later on. But I'm not even searching for it, and they're over here throwing it in my face. and mandatorily trying to get you to see it in their commercials. I got nothing wrong with commercials. There's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. And they're doing it the wrong way. There's a good way to advertise and a bad way to advertise. And then they want you to be agitated. They want you to perceive time too fast as opposed to being still and being calm and playing music that's calmer, or movies that is more positive, or shows that are more positive, or commercials that are instructive. I don't want a commercial I don't want a commercial every 2 minutes showing about a problem that some people are having and a solution with medication that's going to kill you before you get a chance to cure yourself. With the side effects being nausea and then all kinds of nasty stuff. Just nasty stuff. And then the next commercial, oh, you have this problem? We have these pills for you. And then all the side effects, nasty. Then a few minutes later, oh, you got this problem? Here's the medication. Here's the side effects. Nasty. Oh, here's another commercial, flashing pictures. Here's another commercial. Someone talking about and all the things that are in the bylines. I haven't even wanted to look at this, and now you're drilling me with all this information that I neither care for nor want, nor have, nor will I ever want. But they want to permeate the air with all this negative. So they're trying to make situations look like they're different, but continuous on these folks' narratives. They're over questioning you. That's a big no-no too. You're not there to always be interrogated. If somebody asks you a question, then you have a right to ask them a question, and they're not answering your questions. So they'll give you they're just drilling you with questions. Not that their objective is to find a solution, but their objective is to make you feel negative. So they're drilling you with questions, not answering your questions. You need to know some stuff too. Who are you? What's your position? Do you have a badge? Do you have a badge number? Why are you interrogating me? Why are you asking me these questions? And if they have a right to follow a procedure, make sure that procedure was followed, not because they just had nothing to do. If they got nothing to do, they have something to do. But your job is not going to go around pushing people around for no reason. Just because you have a badge, you should follow an objective. Is there a crime? If there's no crime, then what are you doing harassing people for? You see they're out there just having a good time or whatever, and then you're going to go right into their picnic and just start pushing people around. And there's no reason for you to be there. Nobody called. Somebody called? Why are you here? Oh, I got a right to be here. This badge gives me a right to break into your house and get all the information and arrest everybody and shoot a couple people and find out later the warrant for was across the street and 2 blocks down. Who told you to go in that house? And then to go all this, and then you didn't even check, you didn't even follow the procedure. So they're going to do an objective by not following procedures and then claiming dumb. Or they haven't been trained enough. But the hurt and the damage has already been done. And the ignorance is only repeated over time. So that's how you know, because negative people are consistently inconsistent. And positive people are consistently consistent, and they will do the job correctly, as opposed to continuously doing things wrong and only following with a trail of tears and pain and resentment. And then when it comes time for somebody to shoot them and kill them or their family member, oh, now it's wrong. It was okay for you to kill somebody else, but now it's wrong for them to kill your family, or for them to shoot you, or to take you prisoner, to find you in the middle of the night, drag you somewhere, and put you there for a couple of days, and then throw you out, and then see how you feel. And then, well, what are you going to do it again? And then, I mean, if eventually it's going to come to the point as what you sow is what you reap. So if you want to do right by somebody, do them right. They know, even if they've done wrong and you helped, you locked them up because they've done wrong, that's justifiable. But when somebody's not doing wrong and because you're the Mr. Feelings police and they said something or something, they go right away and start attacking people. If somebody pointed their finger at me, I would laugh. There's nothing to it. If some people, you point the finger at them, woo, you would swear you had stabbed, you would swear you had punched and slapped them and try to pull out their eyebrows or whatever. You just point at them and they just rail into you because they have no control, no compassion, no understanding. Now, if you point at a positive person, that means nothing to me. You know, I'd look at you, I realize this body language, and you're projecting your negative through that language, which me in turn, I mean, if somebody points their finger at you, you could just project energy back. Energy back doesn't mean you got to point your finger back at them. Doesn't mean you got to curse at them. Somebody points their finger at you, you could just whistle. And that automatically threw that negative energy back at them. Or you can put the hand to stop, put your hand like to say stop as they're pointing at you. And they'll know that you're reflecting the energy. The energy, this makes them angrier. You know why? Because the energy that they had to throw on you, it was thrown back at them. So energy is projected through IQ and C. There's body language or noise or vibration or problems and questions. That's how energy is projected. And you can reflect it by using that same, it's a indirect language. So if somebody's pointing your finger at you, can clap your hands, and that sound and the vibration is saying back up. In other words, there's direct language, there's an indirect language, there's a secret language, but you're playing with energies. I'm not physically touching this person, I'm not physically hurting them. It's an emotional response that they're receiving through projection and perception and rejection or redirecting their energy. Now, I don't have to redirect the energy now. You can point your finger at me, but later on, when I get home, you gave me a piece of you. And they think, oh, well, I pointed my finger at them. And I was like, no, contraire, mon frere, I own a piece of you because I felt the energy and now I have it within me. And now what am I going to do with it is the question. But you better believe that it's going to be prisoner. I'm going to keep that energy. I'm going to keep that hatred that you gave me, but I'm not going to give it back to you. I'm just going to keep it within me. So I stay relaxed and calm. I neither fight nor flight, but I stay calm and I breathe and I say, oh, I feel you. I feel that. I embrace that pain. I was like, now you're my prisoner. And they're mad. You can feel their energy get mad. But it tries, no, go back and beat them up. Go back and do something to them. You're like, nah, just be cool. Keep breathing, right? Eventually, you feel a blessing come over you. Then that energy is going to go back to them and say, oh, you try to set me up. And now whatever they had did, they're going to pay the penalty. Or you're going to pay. They were better off if you would have pointed back at them and doing the same thing back at them. But because you did nothing and you know the name of the game, I mean, you could have reflected real easy to show them that you know what they're doing. In other words, while they're pointing their finger, just touch your ear and look at them. Just touch your ear and look at them, and they'll know you're doing something. The smart person will be like, oh, he's throwing back this negative energy. I better stop. Because if they stop, then the problems stop. But then if they get angry and they start pointing again, they're making it worse on themselves. Because they'll be like, oh, okay, I see. Because that's what's going to come back. So you sow and so you reap. But you got to understand the way these negative energies work. Even with passive aggression, by doing or something, acting like they're clueless, but if you do the very same thing back to them, then they immediately find the problem. They'll be like, no, you blah, I don't like the way you did that, but they did the same thing back. But be careful with negative people, because sometimes they'll make, when they were insulted because they did it wrong, they'll try to make it look later on like they'll try to do it in the same thing in reverse back to you, but it doesn't work that way, because it wasn't in the same source, it wasn't the same energy, it wasn't the same vibration, so they're just getting the double whammy of them trying to make it look like he was you again. So then they're getting slapped in the face, spiritual slap in the face twice, by first doing something that they were acting ignorant of, and then when they do it to you, or you do it to them, and you're not doing it to them, but if you did, just to find out who they were, and you see that they're defending themselves quickly, and they know the game, quickly, because they know what they're doing. So they know the pattern, they know how that works. So if they're playing stupid and doing something to you, and you play stupid and do something to them, you'll see that they're a lot more intelligent than they had try to proclaim themselves as. Again, they're hypocrites, but that's how you see who they are. And even like common colloquial greetings, you say hello. Someone says, how you doing? You says, fine, thank you, how are you doing? And they don't answer. They like to ask you how you doing, but they don't want to answer how they're doing. So then the next time they say how you doing, you don't answer. Just say hello. But then some of them will just continue. How you doing? How you doing? I said hi. What do you want to know? Or how's everything? And you can just, everything. That's a broad question. How's everything? I was like, well, what are you talking about? The stars? What size my feet are? How's my sides feel today? Or, well, how's everything? But, you don't want to go off in a tangent. So they say, how's everything? Make it simple. 1 or 2 words. Fine. How's everything for you? And if they start saying, what do you mean by everything? You'll be like, there's a problem here. You can just stop arguing. You don't converse. It's a game of tic-tac-toe, Slow down a conversation. It's up to you whether you want to answer or not. Just say 1 or 2 words destroys them, because they would rather have you go off on a tangent and to keep talking as opposed to saying nothing or 1 word and continue. So if they're drilling you with questions, wait to answer. What's the question? Yes or no. That's it. They ask you another question. Before that, you ask them another question. Yeshua, you see that in the Bible, he's not playing that. They ask him a stupid question. He'd be like, sure, I'll answer that. Won't you answer this question first, and I'll be happy to answer whatever you want. And then he throws it back in their face, just the same way they threw it at him. They can't answer, but Yeshua was too smart to answer their question, so they're playing the same game. It's the same language. So they're delivering messages, and sometimes they deliver messages. Somebody delivers a message, supposed to be your friend. You'd be like, somebody told me this about you. And I said, fine, that's not a problem. They're supposed to be your friend. So why don't you go over there and tell them this? And they was like, I'm not telling them that. They said, so you're telling me you're my friend and you're delivering messages from my enemies, and you being my friend, now you won't deliver a message from your friend? So I'm like, I don't need friends like you, because you're delivering messages from my enemies that they told you to deliver. They told you to tell me this, but I'm telling you to tell them that. Are you playing the delivery man, or are you playing negative delivery man, or whose side are you on? What are you doing? I said, well, enemies like you, I don't need that. So they're in there just talk in your ear about negative things that make you feel bad. And they don't, not make you feel bad, but project negative energy on you. But so then you were like, okay, won't you tell them I said that? But they're not doing that. So they're playing the game. So that shows you a lot of secret society members do this. So they group up together, and some of them act like they're your friends, but they're your enemy. So that gives them a chance to get in there and hurt you from the inside. So once you know who they are, you reject them. But then they become pissed off because you know the game. So if anybody tries to be your friend, they'll attack them. So they'll be like, oh, why am I having bad luck when I'm friends with this guy? Because they want you to not be their friend, that person's friend, because that person is a good guy. If you were smart, you'd be like, screw them. Let me talk to him about him, talk it over with him. But then once you talk to that person, he might be smart enough to enlighten you. It was like, yeah, well, these people are hateful, and this is what's going on. So then he'd be like, oh. In other words, now he's not getting sucked into the game either. And then you got something what you call preemptive strikes. The government sometimes likes to use that, and that's really sad. But they pick and choose who they're going to do, because some people are following for it, and they're not going to get. Like if you have a good country and people know it's a good country, some people will be like, well, let's go kill these people because they have a secret bomb they're ready to kill everybody with. They have no secret bomb, but they're just saying that. They say they have a secret bomb, they're going to kill everybody, they're being nice guys. Let's go over there and kill them. So anytime, or saying, my neighbor has a gun, he's going to kill me. He doesn't have a gun. He said, you tell somebody, my neighbor has a gun, he's going to kill me tomorrow. Why don't we go over there and just kill him today? So the whole thing was made up. So this is called a preemptive strike. So the preemptive strikes allows you to kill anybody without reason, just on word alone or doctored up words. That's what they did with the Iraqi war. They doctored up a lot of pictures. There was a lot of fake stuff. By the time they figured it out, it was like, there's nothing here, sir. It was like, what happened to all the pictures and all that stuff? It's all made up. But, again, knowing who the enemy is,